Hey guys, so I decided to make this. So I decided to make a video basically talking about all the different dog boots that I have and which ones I like best and which ones I don't. Basically, the reason I'm doing this is because I know that when I was first getting into dog boots, as if it's a thing. When I was first when I was first getting into collecting dog boots, I guess, basically, or trying to find the right ones for Jinx, who is my service dog, if you don't know. It was really hard to actually, know what the best options were, and then you'd look online, and basically, it'd just be people reviewing one type of boot, and then it's kind of like, well, how does boot X compare to boot Y, and it's a whole thing. I figured I'd do this so that you can have at least my opinion on a whole variety of boots. I got a whole ton here, and also just a couple different options besides boots. So gonna lead off with saying my dog primarily uses these for grip on slick floors, but we'll get into that. So I'm going to start with the ones I'm most disappointed in, and these are the Petsmart Boots. So if you've been keeping track of what Petsmart does, you know that they recently put out a line called Arcadia Trail, which is very similar to Ruffwear products. I've been joking and saying it's a rip-off Ruffwear, because so much of the stuff is extremely similar. Now, I will say, I heard from several people with service dogs that these were great, that they didn't sit on the dew claws, and that they wouldn't rub, and all this other stuff. So I decided to try them. Now, this is a size large, which is 2.25 to 2.75 inches, and that is in width. So it should be like that. Now, Jinx wears a size 2 in Ruffwear, but I tried the mediums in these, and they're 1.75 to 2.25. They did not fit. Because you can't really see it on this boot. For some reason, this boot doesn't do it, but the mediums really pinched in at the bottom, so they didn't fit him. Which was a major disappointment, but I decided to try the size large because I figured, well, maybe it'll fit. They do not. These are huge. They do not stay on him for anything. And it's just very disappointing. Honestly, I wasn't expecting a whole lot from Petsmart, but I have seen, like I said, service dog handlers who talk very highly about these, and I'm just disappointed. And then another thing is that they actually have Velcro on the back here, and something I've noticed is that if the hooks point out, Velcro's hook and loop, obviously, if the hooks point out, they can get caught on things. And I don't know if these actually do, these ones specifically, because I haven't used these ones on Jinx, like I said, because they just fall off anyway. But there are boots that he has that have Velcro on the outside, the hooks on the outside, and if they catch on carpet, they're off. And we will get to those too. So overall, I'm just extremely disappointed with the Petsmart boots. I'm just not impressed. I was really wanting to like them, especially because they are a good, not as expensive boot as some of the other boots I have. So I was really wanting to like them, but they're just don't work. Some of the benefits, if you do your dog does have the right feet size to fit into them, is that they open wide. Basically, they seem very thick on the sole as well, which I'm not a huge fan of. So next we will go with, I'm going to start with all the off-brand ones, I think. So next we will go with these. These I don't know the brand of, actually. I don't think they have a brand because I got them off Wish. So, yeah, basically, these are just very simple boots. The only complaint I really have, I haven't used these in a while because I actually lost them, so I don't completely remember what I didn't like about them, or even if there's much I don't like about them. I need to try them again, but just initial impressions, I'm not loving how thick the sole is. Like I said, I don't really remember what I didn't like about these, but they're, because they don't seem like they'd rub or anything, so like I said, yeah, I probably shouldn't even include these, but so yeah, I don't know. I don't think I actually had a problem with these. I think I just lost them. But I will say, if you decide to get boots from Wish, check the sizing. Yeah, check the sizing, because Wish is extremely difficult about that, and you have to be 100% sure. Because if you're not, then a lot of their stuff is for small dogs. So if you have a large dog and you order a size that you think will fit, odds are you might get something made for Chihuahua. So that's these. The next boot I will talk about is these. And I do remember what I liked and didn't like about these. I actually really did like these boots. And the only reason I say did is because I can't use them anymore because I lost one, and I cannot find it for the life of me. And I don't know if it's my local PetSmart, they don't carry this style of boot anymore. I need to go to another like PetSmart or Petco or whatever and see if any of them carry this type of boot, because I really love this boot. So basically, start off, you have these which lift up and they're Velcro, so you can obviously adjust like there. And then basically in the back, it just zips up, and then you wrap the strap around. So, like that. So the thing with these boots is I never had an issue with them. They are a bit thick on the sole, but Jinx never seemed to have a problem with it. The other thing is they can be a little bit difficult to put on because the zipper can get caught on, because there's like a little tongue in there. I don't know if you can see that. But there's like a little tongue thing. I guess just like to protect their leg hair from the zipper. But other than that, I did really like these boots, and I don't know why, but I just like the style of them a lot. But like I said, unfortunately I lost one, and I cannot find it anywhere. So basically I have 3 of these left, and maybe I'll find them when I clean out my car, but I've cleaned out my car before and haven't found them, so who knows where it went. It just disappeared into the void. So next I will go over, these are pretty popular with service dog handlers as well, and these are the Mutlux. So these are the Winter Mud Lux. As far as I know, they have an all-weather version of this style. They also have different styles that are more like traditional boot, if that's what you want to call it, but more like the other boots where they're more solid, more like rigid. I don't know what the word is for it. Anyway, so these I love and I hate. To be perfectly honest, I have a love-hate relationship with these. So first of all, they're fleece lined, which is kind of an issue with as far as where I live, because it is extremely hot here. So I actually got these specific ones from a dollar bin at PetSmart, which is insane because these boots are very expensive for dog boots. They're so expensive, honestly. I think they're like $80 for a set of these. But so my main issue with these is that, like I said, they have the Velcro on the back. They have the hook facing out. So they catch on absolutely everything. So like the first time he wore these, I was walking through an apartment building and it was carpeted, but parts of it weren't. So I put the boots on him because I was like, okay, well, I'll just, for the parts that aren't carpeted. Oh my god. It's no matter how tight I made them without cutting off his circulation, but no matter how tight I made them, this does not wrap all the way around, and just they caught and pulled off his feet. And these are like the right size for him and everything, so extremely disappointed with that. The thing is, like, to make these work, I would have to modify this to have more of a strip on it, which I may end up doing because I do like these boots. But it's just extremely disappointing that for as much as they cost, that I would have to do that. Like I said, I got these for $1, which is absurd. But I would never pay full price for this just because of the Velcro. It's like, I don't know who like tested. I mean, I guess if you're outside, if you're not walking on carpet, it's fine. But if you have like a service dog and you're walking through a building or something, like even like a Target or a Kohl's or whatever, there's like little pieces of carpet and they'll rip right off your dog's foot. Then another thing that is a reason why I will never buy another pair like this, with this specific style, not Mutlux specifically, but this specific style, is that there's leather on the bottom, which most people I know probably aren't bothered by that, but I'm vegan, so the leather on the bottom is a huge deterrent. Like, I would never buy a set of these from the company itself. Like, if I had the option to buy more for like $1 or an extreme discount, I might consider it depending on various factors. But the fact that it's leather is just extremely disappointing to me. I didn't know that when I got them, but I have them now, so. But yeah, overall, it's like, it's a good boot. I just wish they didn't have, I wish some of the things were different. Like, I really wish that they had the loop facing out instead of the hooks. But I think that is about it. Like I said, if you're walking on carpet or whatever, it's not going to stay on unless you modify it, or unless your dog has like a really narrow ankle and you can wrap this all the way around to cover the hooks. But if you're outside, it probably wouldn't be an issue, honestly. If you were in snow or whatever, I don't think it would catch on anything. But if you're looking for a service dog, I probably would say keep looking, or be willing to pay a lot of money and then modify the boots, which honestly just seems like a waste of time and money to me, because there are other boots out there and I would rather buy one that I don't have to modify. So next up, we will do the Ruffwear. So I have one set of Ruffwear boots, and these are the Grip Treks. Funny story, I actually swear to God I ordered these in gray, but something went wrong and I ended up with the green, and I didn't want to deal with returning them and everything, so I ended up with green. I don't know if it was like an issue on my end with ordering or on their end with processing or whatever, but I ended up with green instead of gray. So these boots I do like. They are pretty flexible in the sole once you break them in. It does take time to break them in, because like when I first got them and first put them on him, after 10 minutes he was limping. So it does take time to break them in. For us, it took about, I want to say it took a few weeks of him wearing them for like 10 or 15 minutes at a time. It took a while. But now that they are broken in, I do enjoy them. I do like them. The only problem is that this strap sits right on his dew claw. So they actually have the loop facing out, which I'm very happy with. I don't know why Mutlux can't do that. But so it doesn't catch on anything. But this strap sits right on his dew claw. And it doesn't matter, like I can file his nails down as far as they will go, and admittedly he has long quicks that we are working on. But other people have had this issue too. Like other people in my service dog groups have had the issue where it rubs on the dog's dew claw. Now, usually this isn't too big of an issue because he doesn't wear boots for super long periods of time. But there was one day where I was on campus and I took him into a building. Like I put the boots on him and took him into the building. And after a few minutes, I noticed he was limping. A couple more minutes before I was done in the building, so I figured he should be okay. He should be fine. So when I took him outside, I immediately took the boots off, and there was blood. Now, I will say it wasn't like a lot of blood, but there was like fresh blood on his dew claw. So, didn't love that. And I'm extremely cautious to put these on him anymore because of that. And when I put them on, I'm extremely careful to try to not get his dew claw in a position where it's going to rub. But unfortunately, because of where the strap is, they just kind of do. So I have mixed feelings about this boot as well, honestly, because I do like it. It's good quality. It's held up very well for as long as I've had it, which has been like a year, a little less than a year. It doesn't catch on anything, and it fits him well and everything, but it's just disappointing that it rubs on his dew claws, which is a recurring theme here, is his dew claws. If you have a dog without dew claws, honestly, you don't have to worry about it. But so finally, the most recent boot that I actually just got last week is the Mutlux Mud Monster. So these wrap around twice, and they're supposed to be very good for dew claws. He's worn them twice. So the Mutlux team, when I asked them about these boots, were extremely helpful. They helped me measure his feet and figure out what size he needs. He has a size 5 in his front feet and a size 4 in his back feet. So they were extremely helpful with that. These are expensive boots as well. The size 4 was $48, or the size 4 was I think $42 or $44. I don't quite remember, for two. And then the size 5 was I think $48 for two. So that's almost $100 on dog boots for one set of dog boots. So, like I said, Mutlux is extremely pricey. But I do like these boots so far, but there are some issues. Like I said, he's worn these twice, so I think there's still a breaking in period that we have to get through. But unfortunately, these are supposed to be extremely good on dew claws because you can adjust this. But the thing is, again, Velcro on the back. So basically, I feel like I have to wrap it exactly where the Velcro is, or it's going to catch on things. And I need to try it wrapping it differently so it doesn't sit on his dew claws. But yeah, that was. And I will also say one thing is that when the first day I put these on him, he wore them for way longer than I would normally have a dog wear boots during the break-in period. Like, he had these on for a good few hours, and it was just because circumstances. Much longer than I would ever have a dog normally wear boots that they were just breaking in. And anyway, after I had those on him and I finally took them off, he did have some sore spots, raw spots where his boots rubbed, where his dew claw. So he did have some sore spots where the boots rubbed against his dew claws, and like I said, I think that may well have been because he wore them for too long when they weren't broken in. I don't know entirely what the break-in period is for these boots because, like I said, we just got them, but I imagine there probably is one. Because there is with most boots. So I do like that these are extremely, extremely flexible right from the get-go. Like, I didn't feel like I had to. With Ruffwear, you're recommended to bend them, break them, basically, so that the sole becomes looser. But these are pretty flexible right off the bat. And when I put these on him, Jinx seemed to really, really enjoy them right off the bat, which is unusual for him. They're also very easy to get on. They open up pretty wide, you stick their foot in, and then you just wrap the strap around, which is pretty easy, honestly, compared to some of the other boots I've had. But I will say the second time he wore them, he didn't get rubbed on his dew claws, but he wore them for 15 minutes, which is what I would normally have him wear to start breaking in boots. And he had a rub on the top of his foot, which I don't know what that's about, and I'm going to have to experiment more with these to see what happens, but I'm not thrilled with the fact that they rub. I will say I absolutely love these boots, and that, honestly, I think they're my favorite boots that we have. So, ultimately, if it's an issue, I'll probably end up putting socks on his feet under the boots, or wrap his foot with vet wrap before I put them in the boot. So, yeah. Basically, that's the Mud Monsters. I was also going to go over real quick, like if you're just looking for traction and you're not really looking for boots necessarily, and I've used all these on Jinx, obviously, but so you have options like, for instance, socks with grips on the bottom. These are, if you're just like looking for traction around the house or in a store, I wouldn't really recommend these for in a store just because they are fabric and they will, if you step in anything wet, they will absorb it. And it's just not, I don't think, super sanitary. Like, you can throw these in the wash, obviously, but I just don't really want to touch them after they've touched the floor because you don't know what's in these. Like I said, if you step in anything wet, like if it's raining out or something, like you can't really use these unless you put them on in the store or wherever you are. But if you're going to go outside, you have to take them off, and it's a whole thing. So, yeah. So the next best thing would be something like this, which is basically a sock that's dipped in rubber so that it doesn't absorb moisture and it does provide still some traction. I use these sometimes because they are better than a traditional sock, but they do have an issue. All these, honestly, both of these have issues with staying on because they do tend to fall off very easily. Now, my favorite that I would recommend to pretty much anyone is this. So this is basically the rubber dipped sock. You can't really tell very well because this is gray and the rubber is black. But basically it's a rubber dipped sock with straps at the top. So it stays on. So Jinx wears different sizes on his front and back feet. So the thing I really like about these, and this brand is actually Bing Pet. Basically, you can look it up on Amazon and find like rubber, I think I looked up something like rubber dipped dog socks with straps or something like that. It's very easy to find, but these ones specifically I like about them is that the straps actually pop off. So if, for instance, like me, you have a dog that has two different size feet, different size in the front and back, which apparently most dogs are, like a half size smaller or full size smaller in the back than the front. What I did was I popped off one of these straps, and that makes it extremely easy to tell which socks go on the front and which socks go on the back, because it can be an issue. That's something with Ruffwear and most of these boots, honestly. Well, actually, even these have like a little M on the bottom. But that's something with Ruffwear, is that they don't put the sizes anywhere on the boot. Whereas this has it on the bottom. The red boots have it on the bottom. The sneakers have it on the bottom. I don't know if Petsmarts have it on the bottom. If the blue Petsmarts have it on the bottom, I'm not going to pull those out again. This has it on a little thing on the side, little tag thing. So Ruffwear is pretty much the only one that doesn't have a size on it, which can make it very difficult, because generally they say, oh, you should get like a different size for the front and for the back, and they sell them in pairs for that reason. But the thing is, unless you store them in a very specific way, I don't know how you would be able to tell which one goes on the front and which one goes on the back, because they don't put sizing. And that's something I was actually worried about because of that with these, but they actually do put they put a little number right up there. And I guess there's always a possibility that this could get rubbed off, but at the end of the day, at least they put it there. Because like I said, it's extremely difficult to tell when you're talking like half a size or, like a quarter of an inch or something. It's extremely hard to tell the difference. So, you know. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to somebody somewhere. This was just like my thoughts on the various boots that I have basically collected over the years. So yeah, like I said, hopefully somebody finds this helpful and it helps somebody pick boots. If you have any questions, like ask in the comments, I'll let you know. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them if I understand the question and if English is not failing me at the moment. But yeah, so those are various boots, my thoughts on them. Obviously there are more boots out there that I don't have, but these are some of the most popular among the surf style community, so hopefully this was helpful.